Everybody would have faced situations in their lives where mental toughness was tested. This could have come in the form of a toxic friend, a dead-end career, or a dysfunctional relationship. You must be reliable, have a positive outlook, and be proactive, no matter what challenge you face. You might think it sounds easy, but it is not. One wouldn't want a good friend, a happy partner, and a job that is fulfilling. It might sound simple, but it requires a lot of work. It can be hard to be mentally difficult when you feel trapped. Mentally strong people are able to free themselves from the chains that keep them back and create their own path. It is amazing to see the intellectually challenged individuals who are able to separate themselves and others. The Thomas Edison factory in 1914 was destroyed by fire. Several valuable prototypes were lost, and the total damage to the property was $23 million. Edison's response was to this unfortunate event: "Thank God, all our errors were burned. We can now begin again." Edison's answer sums it all. It's all about having a positive outlook on your life, seeing possibilities, and taking the necessary actions, even when things look grim. 1. They have an emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most important components of mental power. Mental toughness doesn't exist if you are unable to accept and manage negative emotions. Moments that test your mental strength also test the emotional quotient. Your IQ or IQ cannot be changed, but your EQ or your IQ, emotional intelligence, can. High levels of emotional intelligence are a desirable trait. Those who succeed in life have high EQ. If you can see the situation objectively and not emotionally, you will be able to make better decisions. If you allow your emotions to easily influence you, then you are open for manipulation. 2. They're very confident. Henry Ford once said, "If you think that you may or might not be right, your mindset will impact your success." Ford's idea is something that mentally challenged people will strongly believe in. If you don't feel confident in yourself and your capabilities, then you can't expect anyone else to feel the same about you. It is not enough to show bravado, but trust. People sometimes try to hide their insecurity by projecting belief instead of believing. Safe people will always be better than indecisive and doubtful people. His confidence inspires others. 3. They are adept at neutralizing toxic people. It can be exhausting but also frustrating to deal with difficult people. People with mental issues can take control over their interactions and relationships with others. Persons with psychological problems may be able to control their emotions and not allow toxic people to influence them. Their approach is often rational. To be mentally healthy, it is important to recognize negative emotions like anger. However, you shouldn't allow these feelings to control you. Negativity adds fuel, and the situation can quickly get out of control. You can take a moment to look at the problem from their perspective. Then you can try to find solutions or common ground. Even when things turn sour, 4. They can embrace change. People with mental challenges are dynamic and capable of accepting change. They not only accept change, but can adapt to any circumstance. They recognize that fear can hinder their progress and keep them from succeeding. A mentally challenged person will look for possible changes and then create an action plan that will help him make the most from it. Acceptance of change is essential if you are to find the positive things in it. Keep your eyes open and be open to new possibilities. If you continue to make the same mistakes and ignore any new opportunities, you are setting yourself up for failure. It is not possible to ignore or avoid it. Don't do the same thing repeatedly and expect a completely different result. Now let's get on with it. Number 5, they are able to say no. To reduce your chance of feeling stressed and depressed, you need to learn how to say no. You can actually be good for your mind and health by saying no. Mentally resilient people have self-esteem that is high and foresight that allows them to say no. Start working immediately if you have difficulty saying no to others. Not only can you report an unneeded burden, but it will help you prioritize work and eliminate toxic people. If you say no, mentally healthy people will stop using words like "I don't think so" and "I'm not sure." Saying no with confidence is the best way to say it. Being able to say no will allow someone to better focus on the task at hand and not take on more work. Mentally resilient people can exercise self-control and say no to both themselves and others. Be more disciplined and stop acting in an impulsive manner. No, a powerful word, can help protect your valuable time. If you must say no, simply say it. You shouldn't say phrases like "I am not sure," "I doubt you can," etc. Don't assume any new commitments if it isn't possible to fulfill existing obligations, or you feel that you have too much work. Say no. Don't get stuck doing something you don't want to do. It will only cause more stress and increase your chances of getting burned. Your productivity will increase if you can say no. 6. They recognize that fear causes remorse. You won't know what you could have done if you refuse to take a chance. You will never know unless you give it a shot. You don't have to regret what opportunities you missed. It's better for you to take control of your fears and jump. Be willing to take risks. You don't have the right to take any chance blindly. What is the worst possible thing that could possibly happen to your life? Not death is the answer. The worst thing to do is to regret. Regret over the things that could and should be done. Resentence can consume you from within. Mentally healthy people are aware that fear leads to disappointment. Self-awareness helps you overcome this. Self-awareness will allow you to balance your home and your memories. Anxiety and worry about your past mistakes can make you anxious and aware. But forgetting about them will make you more likely to repeat them. Learn from your mistakes and seek out opportunities to improve. 7. They are able to accept failure. Failures are common and every person has suffered from them. Mentally challenged people can accept their mistakes. You can't experience success if you don't know what failure is. Only then can success be achieved when you recognize your mistake, acknowledge it, and learn from your mistakes. 8. They can forgive all mistakes. Mentally healthy people realize that what you pay attention to will affect your mood. You can become fixated on a problem and create negative emotions which will stop you from moving forward. By focusing on yourself and the situations in which you are found, you can feel a sense of personal efficacy and positive emotions. This will increase your productivity and help to create positive emotions. People with mental challenges can look at their mistakes from a distance without forgetting them. It is important to keep your mistakes in perspective, learn from them, and adapt to them, but you should not dwell on them for too long. 9. They can't limit their joy. Your happiness does not depend on how you compare yourself to others. You're ceding control of your happiness and allowing others to do the same. People with mental health problems will feel positive about something, regardless how others perceive it. Your joy and happiness cannot be taken away by anyone. You cannot ignore what others think about you. But you don't need to compare yourself with others. It is better to accept others' opinions with a pinch salt. Mentally healthy people know that, no matter what others think of their mental health at any given moment, there is one thing certain: they are never as good as or worse than others. It is a trap to compare yourself to others, either financially, socially, or physically. This is a trap that should not be allowed. You will always find people around who have more money or live a better life, or are more successful in their respective professions. Instead of focusing only on what others have instead, think about yourself. 10. They won't limit happiness of others. People with mental issues will not criticize anyone else because they know everyone has something to contribute. To feel good about their own self-worth, they don't have to criticize others. Comparing yourself with others will only limit you. Your energy can be drained by jealousy, envy, or resentment. Mentally disabled people will not waste their time worrying about what others think. And they will certainly not spend their energy evaluating other people. Instead of allowing negative emotions and thoughts to take hold, channel your energy into something that is more positive. Your achievements will not be diminished if you celebrate others' successes and rejoice in their triumphs. Spread positivity. 11. They exercise. You can achieve mental, psychological, and spiritual stability through exercise. If you begin to exercise, you'll not only be improving your physical health, but will also help you get rid of negative emotions. At least 3 times per week is a good amount to feel better. If you are able to improve your body image, your self-esteem will be healthy. A person with mental challenges will understand the importance of exercise and will ensure they get their daily dose. Your prospect can feel the joy and excitement that comes with exercise. 12. Get enough sleep. To improve your mental ability, you need to get enough sleep. Your brain releases toxic proteins from neural activity that occurs while you are awake. The problem is that your brain can only do this when you are asleep. In other words, if you don't sleep enough, your mind can build up toxins that affect your ability to think. This cannot be corrected by increasing your caffeine intake. People with mental issues know that their productivity, focus, and overall productivity are affected if they don't sleep enough or get enough rest. You must prioritize sleep if you want mental strength. It's worth a second to consider this. After a good night's rest, do you feel more energetic and refreshed? Do you feel tired and irritable if your dreams are disturbing? Depending on whether you've slept, how much or little, your perception of the world can shift dramatically. Do not overdose on caffeine. Increased caffeine intake can lead to an increase in adrenaline production. Adrenaline controls our flight and fight response. This mechanism can interfere with our ability to reason. When this response activates in our bodies, survival and self-preservation become the primary focus of our bodies. It can be useful in situations where you are facing a serious threat to your life, but not when you face a challenge. You will experience a hyperactive reaction to any caffeine you continue to drink. Your emotions will begin to dominate you, and your rationality will become a thing of the past. You will still be able to do your job, even though the initial caffeine fever may make you feel restless and anxious. A mentally healthy person understands that they don't need to consume excessive amounts of caffeine to get them through their day. They are also aware of the potential dangers that caffeine can pose to their health. 14. Others don't need to be apologetic in order for them to forgive. People with mental issues know that forgiving others who hurt them is the best thing. They are not waiting for someone to apologize to them in order to forgive. They can forgive others without needing to apologize, which is why their happiness is greater than that of the rest. It will make you feel lighter and happier if you let go any hate you have for others or any other feelings that might cause you discomfort. Negative emotions will cause you to feel sad and will ruin your ability to be happy. Negative feelings are just like parasites and should be crushed. Greeting against someone takes a lot of energy and can create more stress. Tending to a grudge against someone only increases the pressure, which can manifest itself in both mental and physical ways. If you forgive others, it is not tolerating their actions. 15. They're always positive. Today's news has become an unpleasant experience. Mass killings, suicide bombings, violence. This is a lot of negativity. It is easy to lose your positivity in times like this. An individual with mental issues would not worry about any of that for one reason. He or she can't control these things. Their attitude, however, is something they can control. That's why they choose to focus on it. They won't waste time on things that they can't avoid. Try instead to use your power to do good. It might prove helpful. Mental toughness should not be something that is reserved for the elite. You can do this with little effort.